now leave Lion open because, yeah, you're going to have to play against it, but we saw Empire not really be as dominant with Lion on border earlier on. So, yeah, take it for what it's worth. Take it at face value, really, and try and let it slip through. But no, it will be Empire. Or no, it is the Giants, sorry, banning it out.
Yeah, the Giants actually, it was left open by Empire, but I believe that's kind of a mindset for Empire where they can take Lion. They are not afraid of bringing it either, so maybe that's something that doesn't really faze them. A lot of other teams, definitely, they just do not want to go near Lion at all. I also like the fact that Emsley, he brought up the point about the Dokkaebi. It's kind of like a substitution for the Lion. Maybe not as strong, but still a universal effect, which does affect the roamers more so. And if you combo that with the Jackal, that's going to be pretty scary for Joystick whenever he is in that scenario. We'll see if it will be the same old story for Empire where they just dominate, or will we finally see a bit of fight back for Vodafone Giants? We will move into the first round of Bank. Grand Final, Map 2. Let's see where it takes us.
Interesting that the bans are identical between the two maps, Oregon and Bank. You got a Glaz, Lion, Echo, and Mira banned out, and a clash being shown early by Shepard. That's leading me to think that's going to be a 6-pick, and that's exactly what happened. 6ing to the Maestro, and Drade coming off Buck to head to a blitz. So we talked about no blitz early on. I mean, maybe this is the Giants' game plan now heading into Bank is we're going to turn the aggression up to 11 because we've seen them get aggressive before, but they definitely need to bring something else to the table or Empire are going to walk all over them again.
They have the Dokkaebi as well, so that universal effect will be in combination with that blitz. Certainly that blitz, we may as well just call it the Joystick Hunter. That's all he's going to be doing is just trying to hunt for that one man. Of course, there is other people there like Karzeka, who we know can also have a bit of good roam game as well. We do see also Shockwave on the Pulse. More than likely, we're not really going to see the roaming Pulse more on Anchor inside of that Gold Vault, providing all of that intel in towards that server area. Very, very strong position, kind of like under the stairs inside of Oregon, or also an armory inside of Clubhouse. So, of course, the utility from the Pulse is always going to be useful. That's a bit of a weird Maestro camera.
Yeah, it looked like Shepard was going to use the bailiff to pop open the wall.
I think that's what he's going to think. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do.
And just looking at the Giants here as they all disappear into the ether, but now we're back. It looked like everyone was going for a garage rush early on there, and now they've kind of kept their composure, and it looks like it's just going to be main lobby entrance to start things off for the Giants. Interesting as well that Karzeka is playing Smoke. Not that he hasn't played it well before. We've seen him on border clutch out plenty of times. Nice. The big thing for me is that Joystick on a map like Bank, I think he would benefit from having a roaming partner. Yeah. And instead of going solo, and Karzeka's been that guy with him every time.
You can see Joystick right above all of the attackers. They are unaware that he is going to be there, and this is going to be a quick Volt Rush, it seems to be, from the players of Vodafone. We said they needed to change something up. They are certainly bringing the heat, as they will use their first set of phone calls, and here comes the push coming in from Dread. Sake will eliminate Karzeka in that first engagement. This will be the activation switch for Joystick to get the all clear and try and put an end to this potential rush. Shepard also eliminates Vasily. Dread has managed to get his first kill of the blitz, but Joystick, that ever so menace. Shepard, another kill for him. Diffuser has gotten planted inside of B, so 2 versus 3. Another phone call will be displaced. Joystick still alive and well. Excellent position, I would say, that Lion has taken up. They know where Joystick's going to come in from, and straight away, banged with the headshot. Shepard, another kill for him, a 3K. One more for the clutch and the 4K. He knows exactly where Lion should be, so this should be pretty simple for the Alda to do the work. Has still 30 ammo in it. Do you see the Lion? No, you do not. Shepard pushing in, flashbang goes in, excellent stuff from Habana. This is back and forth, and Shepard misses the shots, and Lion, he will manage to clutch it up. And Vodafone Giants, they will take the first run on Bank after something we did not expect, a B rush.
That looked very winnable for Empire there. That was a good job of holding things down. You can see right here in the replay, they have the 3v2 advantage, then the 2v1, and then Joystick dropping in, gets dropped from the elevator. I think Shepard really here kind of to blame on that one. Don't go sprinting around that corner like that. You know he's going to be holding the angle, but just go for a lean peek. If you're sprinting, you can't pull up your gun in time. Like, those are fundamentals in a 1v1, and unfortunate there for Empire, but a great start for the Giants, as that is a trick that will probably only work once and never work again, but it gets you on the board to start things off on Bank.
We will not see the Blitz being brought to the table. Instead, Jackal will be actually 6th pick for the Dokkaebi, so that Dokkaebi and Blitz were only for that particular rush. So what we kind of had and thought was, yeah, that's going to be used every single round to try and counter Joystick in that room game, but no, it will just be a one-time thing, and instead Jackal and Ying will fill those positions. So Ying is always a bit of a scary one for the players of Empire. We have also seen Empire ban that against Vodafone in the rematch, or not the rematch, the match that they had yesterday. And they did ban Ying against the Giants, and also Mira, Lion, and Echo. So a bit of a similar story of the bans we're seeing today. So certainly Empire, they are not a big fan of Ying. I also believe that they banned Ying against Trust Gaming in the very first match of this tournament. So Ying can be a bit of a potential cause for caution that definitely Team Empire have to play around.
Similar spawns coming out for the Giants, but different different loadout and different mentality, I imagine, heading in, as it doesn't look like they're going to try and go for that insane aggression and quick drop through the teller's desk hatch. They're going to try and take this a little more standard, and whether or not they keep that same kind of pace and go for a server push with the same vigor, then that's fine. But if they're going to try and draw things out on bank, I mean, you're just allowing more time for Joystick to come in behind and apply a nasty flank.
Yeah, we know how slow of a round the bank can really be played out, where you have all these different floors. You have the top floor, the mid floor, and even some of the bottom floor. Of course, that server's always going to be one, but that man, Joystick, gets things started upstairs, and Sake, he will fall, and that's also a bit of hard destruction off the side of Vodafone. Grid can use that Inox to great utility to try and find a footprint of Joystick. Ying will try and push in, knows that Joystick is in there, and the shots will get rattled off, but Barrage, he will be there ready for that pick, and Joystick, he just crumbles under the might of that T95. So 4 versus 4. This is looking better for Vodafone.
There's a good pre-fire there from Barrage, expecting the aggression. You know, every time you're in an engagement with a 416, first of all, it's going to be Joystick, and second of all, he's going to peek you at every single opportunity. So a good job timing it out on the pre-fire, and Joystick puts his face right into it. So a good job of eliminating that first problem, but now you're running out of time. You've lost your most significant breacher for at least getting the hatches on the attack for downstairs. Just off of pure utility, this is looking like it's going to be going Empire's way, especially with the time ticking away against them. They can still open up the A-bomb hatch and the server wall into CCTV, but it looks like they're using 2 exothermic charges on hatches. They're not even trying to get the wall into the site.
That's very, very risky in most circumstances, because you're literally dropping in to death. That is the best way to time it. These hatches are going to be watched quite dramatically by Empire. Of course, you still see that Shockwave has all of that intel that we did talk about. Ying there, also the only 4th Ying pick we have of the tournament. Bang, 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 thank you, production, for that. And this is where things start to get really spicy. It's almost as if we're casting Clubhouse at this stage with these drop hatches coming in. First Candelas will be chucked out, and also the gas canister will be expended. Also, Shepard has these same angles that he can try and hold Cypher. Does get flashed, and also his teammate gets flashed as well. Shock gets a C4 kill onto Lion. Barrage, he's going to end gas himself by Karzeka's smoke. Comes out the Shock, and he can pop a hole in towards that wall, and that's exactly what he does. And that will be all over Karzeka. He goes on a rampage. The final tear from the smoke tears through that attack from Vodafone Giants.
Just losing that Hibana on a solo push topside to try and find Joystick, and just an unfortunate loss of the utility. Bad positioning, no one there for the immediate refrag, and Barrow's losing some health in the engagement against Joystick as well, caught off guard. And now heading to Teller's Archives will be the defense.
You guys may have missed that, but a fly landed right in my hand, and it did meet its demise as well. Flynn, you love that. You should have cast at that.
Yeah, I cast you killing the fly and then handing the rotting corpse to me.
Yeah, you know, we'll have to give it the proper
I don't want the fly corpse.
Oh well. It's actually a delicacy in some countries.
Oh, thankfully we're not in those countries. We're in Milan, Italy for the ESL Euro Cup.
Pizza.
Pizza, yes.
That's all we've had.
There you go.
That's all we've been fed.
The 1-1 scoreline on bank. We'll head back to the action as Teller's Archives. First time we'll be seeing this, as it was 2 consecutive holds downstairs. A rush catching Empire off guard. although they did battle quite well in that specific round. Second time around, they got their joystick in play and earlier on and took down a breaching utility that was pretty massive and conducive to the fall of the Giants. So Drid on the Montaigne. We saw this yesterday on Coastline. Was that today?
Yeah, I think it was
that
today.
The first game of the day today?
Yeah, Vodafone versus Penta. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was. It feels like it was 2 days ago.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It is definitely firmly implanted. We know what devastation that Drid can do with that shield. He doesn't have his partner in crime on the glass, which is the only difference, but we know that Penta had a really rough time, but this isn't Penta, this is Team Empire. We'll see if they can adapt playing against the shield a bit better than Penta did, because Penta, I think they only won one defense against Vodafone in their match earlier. We'll have to see how Drid will play it. Will he play more aggressive this time because he doesn't have Glass backing him up, or will he just play the same very, very slow, methodical, give out all of the call-outs, and possibly Barrage, who isn't on the Glass this time, but still a very strong operator in the form of a Ying. Joystick. I would love to see the opening kills that this guy gets, because it is absurd.
Yeah, that would actually be a really good stat to find out, although I don't know if anyone's been keeping track, and you'd have to go through every round of the VODs to actually find that out. But opening picks for Joystick, the man starts rounds, and the man finishes rounds. In between, he's just moving around the map discreetly, free from supervision, and
the best way to describe him is one-man army.
Yeah.
That is it. He's no longer Joystick, the one-man army. That is it. Drid already on extremely low health after that bit of engagement with Shockwave and Karzeka. You can see Shepard as well holding some angles, and Shock trying to find just a little pixel peek that he can onto the shield. So certainly Shepard, he can clean up things with those gas canisters that can be implemented. Vodafone, they're going to go all out for a lobby take. They still have to be careful of Joystick. You can have that rotations, may it be downstairs and up through the main stairs, or just straight through the top floor and jumps down onto the balcony right above their heads. Shockwave, I would say, is in an excellent position to actually stop this, because that castle barricade is going to delay the time so much, and especially with Vasily getting eliminated very early on, that soft breach is going to be completely gone for the players of Vodafone. So with still 50 seconds to go, a lot of things they have to worry about, but certainly a lot of things that still have to get done.
Joystick seemingly spotted out by a flank drone, as it was Barrows that came for the response, but I don't think they know about Karzeka. Tangling in towards the top of the stairs, Joystick down to about 10 HP, but Scyther will take down Sake. Trying to fight through the bars, Barrows will finally come out on top, and it was Karzeka in shock over by the elevator hallway, taking a lot of damage as the Montaigne of Drid has just rushed straight in and sat himself in a corner. Barrows trying to do more damage, will get felled by Shockwave. Drid gets down and finished off, going for 3. Scyther will take away the 3K, but pick up 2 of his own. A wonderful response there from Empire as time bled away from the Giants, and they take the lead once again on round number 3, up 2-1.
I'm unsure how Montaigne managed to get himself in that position. That was very, very awkward for him. He just was stood in the corner, given call out, sure, but the gun skill that Empire had was just proved to be too strong for Vodafone. Joystick still being that menace that they always have to have at least something on the flank watch, because he will just run in and decimate the final remains of your team and scatter your ashes into the Empire half. And with still 2 rounds to go for these defenses, Vodafone, they have to prove to be stronger. Maybe the glass is really hurting them in this scenario, where we've seen how good the combo was with Drid on the Montaigne along with Barrage on that glass. Eliminating that big factor that quite smartly Empire have really took to that and have seen, yeah, this is a big, strong point that they proved against Penta. If we ban out that operator, we will have a lot easier time. And at the moment, they're bringing Ying, which is still a very strong operator. She's not doing anything to really help her attack in many of these defenses.
So an open area defense coming out from Empire, probably one of the most unusual that we see on Bank. Typically the tertiary site would be the CEO.
Yeah.
But hey, we've seen a few pretty decent open area defenses in other leagues, whether it be NA Pro League, EU Pro League, or Challenger League in either region. There have been other instances where this open area defense has been very effective, and the biggest thing is the roaming potential. You have to be able to roam quite well for this specific objective, and Joystick has been the roamer of the tournament.
Yeah, I think that we've seen more bank plays from Latin American teams. That's always really been the case. In Latin America, we know they are very aggressive in the way that they have their significant playstyle. Empire certainly do fall under that, you know, aggressive run and gun playstyle. I wouldn't say Empire really have a similar effect to any EU team currently, so they do fall more under the lines of Latin America. So bank is proven to be pretty strong for them. It should be. Open area does work a lot better with mirror windows, but we have seen on occasions where it has worked with a very strong roam game, and I'm sure Joystick, he will try and do his best for his team to delay the attack as much as he can, and then also, of course, get a couple of kills along the way. So already a minute to go. You can still see that Vodafone, they finally got themselves inside of the bomb site, not the bomb site, above the bomb site to open up those drop hatches and finally utilize all of the utility that they have. Facility, he will start things off, getting the sledge in, trying to eliminate Shockwave, and that's exactly what he will do. Great utility from the sledgehammer. Typically, we wouldn't see a sledge in that scenario, but it does work out for him that time.
Not impervious to metal bars is Joystick, as a lot of those bullets being eaten up by the beams and the floorboards. Vasily walking away with about 26 HP, standing directly on top of him. Now staring down through those kill holes that Joystick is so nonchalantly walking in purview of. Ripping up more now will be Vasily to remind Joystick of his location topside in CEO. Sees his head, but will evacuate with about 10 HP. Makes it back into the kitchen where the majority of his teammates are bunkered down, trying to hold the rest of the objective, as they've lost a lot of that roaming potential as everyone stacks on site.
So certainly Vodafone, they do have that established control. They have now put Empire on the back foot. We still know that Shepard and Cypher can play very big in those clutch scenarios with the smoke and also with the Maestro alike. Dread still full alive and healthy. Can't really say the same for Vasily, as Joystick will finally win that engagement against the sledge. Thermite, he will open up some hard walls as well to create another beachhead into the bomb site. Joystick, how aggressive this guy playing, and he will get punished by it. As Sake, he will finally finish off the Jaeger.
Sake looking down through the hatch for anyone else to get a little more aggressive, and Karzeka as well playing a very dangerous game right up against the teller's window, the copy window. The Candela placed on the barricade will blind him, and he's looking at the wall. What is happening? Barrows finally takes down Karzeka. The two-man advantage of 4v2. Sake drops into the back of the site as the second Candela goes off, and it'll blind Sake as he's prone. Down to Scyther and Shepard. Shepard being removed from play by Barrows. A good refrag there from Scyther, spraying back, but Sake will close it out. The holographic at range. But a 2-2 game as the Giants battle back, and some weird plays coming up from Empire there that cost him the round.
Has Karzeka lost the use of his hearing? I think he might have, because he was probably as close as you could get to that window. He should be able to hear that closer charge. It's the same way as if a fuse charge was to go down, you should be able to hear it. But no, was not the case, and Ying finally doing something on the attacking side, and it does square up to 2 rounds apiece, and we'll move into the final round of this half before we switch the teams around, and we'll see how they can adapt to the bomb sites on the different side of the spectrum. Lockers and CCTV room is where Empire will head. They had a very good time on this bottom floor. I would say that Vodafone struggled a lot whenever they did just decide to use those thermite charges on the hatches and just kind of drop into their death, essentially. Didn't go for the server push, which is what we're used to a heck of a lot more. And I'm sure Joystick, he will be that ever so present roamer on that top floor.
So, heading downstairs, this is a defense that Empire are 1 for 2 on so far in this match, and it's interesting because while Empire have remained competitive in this game on bank, it still feels like it's the Giants who are leading at least the pace of the game. They feel like they're setting the tone, they have the aggression, they're bringing the fight to Empire, and granted, they're on the attack, that's kind of their job, but that's something we didn't see from the Giants on Oregon on their attacking rounds. That's a new thing for the Giants in general today that we've seen from them. Even in their earlier game up against Penta, it didn't really look like the Giants were driving the force. It looked like they were utilizing that shield as kind of like their crutch. They're just going to sit behind it. They're still playing defensive on their attacks. Now it looks like they're trying to get in Empire's face.
Pretty even scoreboard on the top end. Everybody except Joystick has 3 kills at least on the side of Empire. Once again, Dread will be on that shield. He will enter in through the top floor, and this is where I keep saying, I think I've said a couple of times this weekend, is as Montana, you have to drone out first and really establish before you can go in, compared to the Clash, which has that significant advantage of already having the map control. Joystick, instead of going for that top floor room, he will instead just play on these bottom stairs, trying to catch out Sake potentially, who may not be aware that that will be a bit of a weary angle that he does have to be careful of. Joystick, a couple of drones he has evaded as they're just checking the lobby. This is much slower from Vodafone. I can definitely see that potential server push being implemented by Vodafone. I believe last time Sake got eliminated, so they didn't have that hard breach that they needed for the hatches. So this time it does look a lot better. He's been able to use all that hard breach onto those drop hatches, and certainly you can get Thermite into a better position, get him in, and start Thermiting that server wall.
You have to be very wary as they've pushed Joystick down further, but his presence on the map should always be felt. Currently, he's underneath the vault hatch, or not the vault hatch, sorry, the teller's desk hatch, looking for anyone to pop their head up and maybe come in for a flank. We've seen that multiple times against Empire, is teams who will send a driving force towards one objective and send a lone man in behind. We saw that from Penta a lot against Empire on border. And it looks like Joystick is just going to be the flank hold for right now. Lots of shots coming down from Lion in towards where Karzek has been playing mostly as that smoke in the B hallway and lockers.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
So Joystick is going to be sat still underneath that hatch, trying to pick out a potential unwary attacker. Barrage, he is going to be setting himself up with those Candelas, which can come into big effect to flash anybody inside of that vault corridor. Lion holding the angle, but does he know that Joystick has already creeped past his angle? And Joystick, excellent flick reaction from him. Karzeka also puts the lead in Empire's favor with the kill on to Lion, or onto Barrage, should I say. Karzeka also going to use some of these gas canisters, which can delay that Montana and the rest of his teammates as much as he wants. Joystick will start his approach. This is where we say that Joystick is ever going to be that presence. Even if he's not necessarily roaming, he can go for these rotations and these late roams. And that will be all said for Joystick as he finished things off with a quick double kill. And Team Empire take the lead going in to the halftime switch.
Joystick and Karzeka once again, the only two members for Empire needed to close out the round, and the Giants took the fight to Empire like they've been doing, but oh wow, did it fall apart. They let Joystick breach his way back up the south stairs. They let Karzeka run town from in behind the lockers hall. There was no stopping that duo, and that's been the duo that's been running town for Empire this entire tournament. It's been constantly Joystick and Karzeka.
Yeah, you can't really say anything about it. Whenever you have two extremely strong players on your team, you would then expect them to do all of the dirty work. You know, for example, Team Vitality in EU, you always see players like Brid and players like Bibu really running the show for them, as everybody else is more of those support characters, and that's certainly the case for Team Empire. But I'm sure that the players of Empire, Shepard and Cypher and Shockwave, they wouldn't really complain if both of their teammates carried them to a victory.
No, and I mean, there are other instances of teams like that. The first one that comes to mind is, unfortunately, Mouse in NA. You know, it's hyper and vertical, and then there's good support players.
England's been doing good.
Yes, England has been doing very good on the breach role and support role. But yeah, that's a team, again, that is like, it is very top-heavy in the kill count. It's hyper and vertical, and here it's Karzeka and Joystick, where a lot of the fragging load gets picked up by them, and if they aren't on point that game, then things kind of fall apart a little bit. But Empire haven't had that situation so far, even when Joystick has kind of not been the world-beating, dominating force that he has been in some games. Karzek has also stood up on his own and been a magnificent force to be contended with.
Yeah, never forget that ace that he did pull off earlier on this tournament. That was incredible, to say the least. Unwinnable positions that you have said that really differs between good teams and not so good teams. Certainly he did show that why Empire in the position they are at, why they are here inside of the grand finals, trumping nearly everybody apart from Vodafone, who that kind of seems to be the way that they are looking to get that revenge. Certainly Challenge League, they have torn up the scene as much as they physically could. They also do play on Monday night as well, so they still have to come back and play Challenge League also straight after a championship victory, which is probably the thing that they would least like to do after winning this, if they win this.
Only 3 rounds away from doing so, as we are on a championship map here, is already taking map number 161, War Empire on Oregon. It's a best of 3. The final map would be Border. Should we get to a decider? Should we need a decider? Shockwave, the only breacher on the side of Empire, going to be opening up the elevator hatch and the teller's desk hatch. That instantly leads me to believe that this is going to be the second B push we'll see today.
We've finally seen Empire change their attacking lineup. Finally, a Capitao has been brought to the table. That's something always to think about. Dread, he will still play a shield. This time it will be on the defense, and Clash will certainly be there to try and slow things down as much as he can against Team Empire, who we know on the attack can be equally as deadly with that quick gun skill, the quick run and gun Wolfpack mentality, where if you kill one, everybody else will pounce on you and kill you as well. That's a great thing also that Emzo pointed out, was we've seen a big chunk of kills come in. Typically, Empire has had that advantage where it may go into 5 versus 4, and then Vodafone respond for the kill, and then all of a sudden 2 kills out of nowhere for Empire, and Vodafone are going to be on the back foot. We'll see if that's going to be the same outcome. Still 1 minute to go. Plenty of utility for the players of Vodafone to use. Lion has all of those smoke canisters. Barrage still can use those evil eyes to try and gain intel, as he will come in contact with Joystick, who does get fell against Barrage. So a good start for them, and this is not looking too good for Empire.
Joystick complimenting Barrows on his shots. The Capitao smoke bolt's going to be obstructing vision from Vault, but Barrows from the red hallway will remove Shockwave from play. It's a 3v5 for Empire to battle back out of now, and possibly trying to hit the flank up the main stairs with Sake. Drid's going to take down Shepard, and another one onto Scyther. It's all up to Karzeka now, coming down the inside the elevator. Sorry, SMG 11 shots will remove Sake. Smoke canister launched into the depths of the elevator. That's going to round it out. The Giants picking up another round.
That is essentially the kind of same play that we seen Vodafone go for. The only thing that Vodafone really had over that was the fact that they had the Blitz and Dokkaebi, so it was a much quicker rush. They had more utility as well. Looking at the way Vodafone, they held their ground, I would still say a bit of a silly throwaway round for Empire. They took things a lot more slower if you want to establish that B push. We know they don't really like to bring Thermite for the most cases. It's a bit troublesome for me because Empire, that was a pretty easy attack for them. They had good utility. They kind of sent Joystick off in his own, so he got some segmented very, very easily. Great shot as well by Barrage, even Joystick, he said himself. And we will move on to a top floor for the first time inside of this series.
It's a tie game once again. We seem to be going back and forth. Heading to CEO for the first time will be the Giants, 6-picking to a Legion as Barrows instead of taking the ACOG. That's a weird one as well. Obviously, the Legion good at delaying some of the pushing power that Empire have brought, and a decent intel operator as well. However, sorry, there's a lot of background noise distracting me.
Get your party on, bro.
What was I even talking about? Oh, taking off the ACOG. Barrows with the dock, removing that on the 6-pick. It's a weird one for CEO, a site where you kind of really want that ACOG, the long-range engagements.
So typically we see Mira be a big dominant factor for this bomb site. Not going to be the case as she is banned, but certainly Clash can fill her role quite significantly, where typically Mira windows are set up to deny access to that janitor's closet. You can equally do the same with Clash. Play her inside of the janitors, stand there as that immovable wall. It gives all the callouts, all the intel, also can slow you down and do a bit of damage to you as well. It's still free damage a tick for that. Karzeka, he is already going to be looking for the window game, just barely misses the head of the Valkyrie, but will see that black eye. Just trying to find it. He's can mouse chase with the black eye. Doesn't find it. Where did it go? I don't even see it.
Heard it land. I think it might actually be stuck on one of the trees, on the tree trunk, instead of landing on the ground. But he would have heard it connect to the tree trunk directly behind him on his left. Hey, could be a lucky break here for Vasily not getting his cam spotted out.
That's a bit of a big misplay right on top, I believe, of some. That's the generator unit.
Generator, yeah.
He was looking at the wheel and
right
below.
Yeah.
He didn't look on top of it. That could be crucial for Vodafone Giants finding out all of that intel, and especially whenever we know Empire are a very heavy window aggressive team, then this can definitely work out for them.
So still spotting out the repels is Joystick, as always, going to be very aggressive, and he's taking down the Dresser, the most common plant spot really when you're rushing into CEO, but it's also going to open up a huge line of sight towards that curved hallway by the double bay windows in towards meeting room. More breach coming out onto the backside of the CEO is now it'll be Drid, this time on the Clash instead of on the Montaigne. He's going to be sticking the shields constantly. But now he'll engage with everyone coming in towards top square to try and breach open the walls. Everyone from the Giants playing reserved right now, not trying to get aggressive onto anyone like Joystick, who have been dominating. Sake's going to take down Joystick, but Shockwave will trade over Silly. Is that a jump out the main windows?
That's a Mark the Shark jump out, I believe, as he's went for a run. Karzeka also another kill for him on that smoke, or on that sledge, should I say. So devastating with the SMG-11. With the sledge and the smoke as Drid, he will come in contact with a couple of members of Empire Cypher. He will use those concussion grenades. Another jump out from Barrage. Mark the Shark shouldn't be playing in this tournament.
Shockwave and Shepard are both going to try and make their way into the objective while everyone's distracted with the runouts, and they know they have the man advantage on site. Pulling out the machine pistol, but Shepard will drop Drid. You still have Barrage trying to return to site after his run out, and the ping's coming out into the janitor closet. His Lion's going to rush out with the shotgun in hand. Goes prone and behind the couch trying to rush up to the A-bomb, but no, he'll get down. It's all up to Barrage on 1 HP to retake in. Shepard drops him with a nice headshot, and it's Empire taking the lead once again, 2 rounds away from being champions of the ESL Euro Cup.
I would say big fruits from Vodafone. Yeah, you go for one run out, but then another one straight after that. That is extremely risky, especially whenever they know the main force of that was coming in through that main skylight stairwell. You had a player like Drid on the Clash. You could see at least 3 players coming in from that position. Very, very troublesome, I would say, for the players of Vodafone there, and they've basically just given Team Empire that free win of that round.
So, looks like we're going to have a tack break here. I imagine it'll be from the Giants, considering they've now dropped another round. They are 2 lost rounds away from this tournament being over and Empire going home, the champions. And not a bad idea. We have seen it work once before, earlier on against Empire. It was a tack break by Penta, being down 4-1, initiating a tack break, and pulling it all the way back into overtime. So, losing momentum here is going to be the name of the game for Empire, and I believe that score is incorrect. It should be 4-3, if I'm not mistaken, for Empire.
Yeah, 4-3 to Team Empire. Currently, we'll let production slide with that. For the most part, of course, the production team has been incredible as always.
Oh, yeah.
But a couple of hiccups here and
there. We go.
And, yeah, good stuff, production.
Just got it fixed.
Good stuff. So, your Vodafone Giants in this scenario, you're not looking too hot. It is very hot inside the arena, but certainly inside the game, they're not looking too good. We're going to have to see a bit of revitalization from Vodafone Giants. They need to get players like Lion, like Drid, fragging out. Do you really want to put a player like Drid, who has that great gun skill and that, that great roamer instinct, on a shield operator? That's a bit of a strange one for me.
I think the only reason they're doing it is because they had success with him specifically on the Montaigne on Coastline earlier on. So coming back into this game against Empire, even Drid talked about it. So
defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attacks.
So heading back up to a CEO defense as Drid's still pulling out that Clash, and I think it's because they had the success on Coastline with the shield.
So Empire, they will bring essentially the same exact lineup that they always have done. They certainly haven't favored the Thermite at all over the Habana in most circumstances. Vasily trying to get some more Shutterbugs. It's always a weird name for me for those black eyes, Shutterbug. But certainly they do the damage that Intel at gathering, and especially in Siege where information is key. you really need to find out where Empire's coming from, because that can determine if you win that round or not. We've said so many times that early intel, the way that Vodafone play it, not so much cameras on bomb site, it's more about cameras outside and in and around the main entranceways, where you can really see, more importantly, where the ash is coming from, because you know straight away, oh, that's joystick. And it will be that same window game that the players of Empire always try and establish, and they'll do just that.
I'll be interested to see if this time, instead of relying on when a defender returns outside to the main lobby after they jump out and try and kill joystick, if they'll post someone up rappelled up on the corner of the main lobby windows to be able to look towards the CEO windows and be able to assist joystick in taking down anyone who goes for that jump out on them.
Still a good chunk of time for Empire. This is really their first bit of beachhead and their main staging ground for them, trying to establish that dominant factor that we know they can do. More than likely will be pretty much the exact same play that they went for last time, where they have joystick on these windows. Hopefully he doesn't get jumped out on like he did last time, and then certainly that skylight stairwell will be the main area that they'll push in from. Karzeka has his drone up high inside of lobby. Does see at least 2 players of Vodafone. Dread leading the charge with that shield. Cannot get killed from any of those windows, so he can play a little bit more aggressive. Karzeka, he does fall as Vasilio's following up, so that's where the real big play that Dread needed on that shield finally comes into cohesion with that Valkyrie, and it does get them started off on a good run, but Shockwave equally, he will answer back with that kill onto Barrage, but Saki refrags him out left, right, and center inside this matchup. Another kill for Joystick as he catches Valkyrie, trying to retreat below and towards Archives area. Saki still alive with the mute. Minute to go. Free on free. Joystick still alive. Dread still alive as well. This can really go either way.
Mute Gemmers on the left side of the top square walls, causing those pellets to remain stationary, and now that Shockwave is gone, and now look at Sake going out for the double kill. He's going to grab them both onto Shepard and Scyther. It's all Joystick left alive. The diffuser is lost in top square, and Joystick was coming in for the flank from behind. It's the last man alive, and now he's going to rip down Sake as he pushes into the console front desk room, trying to make his way into the B-bomb. He doesn't have diffuser, so he has to go for kills, and he knows that Drid, as that clash is still alive. Lion is pressed out to top square to cover the diffuser, and Drid's just toying with Joystick now, slowing him down at every pass. Hopping over to that breach hole now is Joystick, because he's going to be very wary of anyone playing the diffuser. It is Lion with an SMG-11 or shotgun close range, and now in the same room as each other, Drid and Joystick. He's going to cause Drid to fall through the hatch, turning the corner into a shotgun. He wins it out, picking up the diffuser and rushing back into sight on 1 HP. Trying to plant. There's still a little bit of time left as Drid has gone for the full rotation. Whipping out the machine pistol as the plant will just get completed. Stands up and rushes towards the hallway. Drid pulls out the shield. One zap will down and finish off Joystick and give Giants the round. Joystick fires in! Joystick with the 1v3 clutch! Empire on match point, series point!
What has just happened in the possible penultimate round of this series? Joystick, the man of the tournament, has to be MVP of the tournament at this stage. So many kills for him, clutches up whenever his team needs to. We thought finally Vodafone will get themselves back in, but Joystick, he had other things in his mind. He should never have won that engagement against the smoke. Dread tried his best, but did fall at the final hurdle. And Team Empire, 1 round away from being crowned the Euro champions.
Heading downstairs now will be the Giants on their defense with their lives on the line.
Many bombs as they can.
This has been a defense that has also been tumultuous for them, losing it once and winning it once. I don't really see any improvements as far as the op lineups go. Drid still rocking this clash, and granted, if he hadn't fallen through that hatch inside of the janitor closet, he never would have lost that round, but wow, Drid's clash play hasn't been as effective as maybe the aggression we've seen from players like Sake so far.
I still can't believe Smoke didn't win that shotgun.
True.
That should have been the easiest kill of the entire tournament, but no. But no.
5 seconds.
I don't know what Vodafone do at this stage. Empire are now flying high. They are in the Mile High Club. They have all the momentum. Joystick seems to be, he is just untouchable. He's just almost inhuman at this stage. Nothing can stop him. Vodafone looking down in the dumps. They're going to have to try their best. Dread still picking up that clash. They will try and at least gain some early intel in towards that server down through the sewers. But we know Empire are not a team that really attack in towards that server area. They more like to go for the hatches. To be fair to Vodafone, last time Empire tried to attack this, they went for, I would say, quite a disturbing attack where they took very, very long to actually get their push established. Whenever it was a B push, which is very easily defendable as a defender, so you have to kind of worry to see where Empire will actually change up things.
So, blowing up in the hatch in towards the A bomb. This is signaling that Empire want to take this a little more traditionally, going towards server and going for a CCTV take. Instead of opting to go for a lockers take, that is something that we don't see really ever anymore, and kind of evidence why is it only really works as a surprise rush when you're inside the bomb site within a minute. Shepard's going to be dropping down the sewer tunnel, coming in and blowing open that CCTV wall. He's going to have a clash of Drid to contend with in behind the server racks. Multiple drones have spotted him out, and he hasn't taken down this intel. The wall also looking deep into the west side of CCTV, still soft, not being reinforced. A flashbang coming in, caught by the AES. He'll launch one more in as it'll evade. No, I think there's 2 ADSs stacked in behind the server rack. Now rushing in is Shepard. Asphyxiating bolt going to cut off the rotation out by Drid. He's got nowhere to go. He's concussed from the Zofia mines as well.
Shepard, you see him right in front of you. He goes to the stab and misses the shots. Barrage, he's going to be there to try and follow up on the kill. Thermite will push in. And just like we said about that Alda, will finish off Shepard. Still fighting those long angles with the Egghog. Drid doing amazing in this scenario. Shockwave, an immense kill onto Barrage. Knows that Drid is still stuck inside of this corner. Karzeka will also be there. They need to kill this shield before they do anything about it. Joystick, he will pick up the kill onto Sake. This is falling apart for Vodafone. We know that Drid is in an extremely difficult position as he will get flamed with those asphyxiating bolts. Vasily did manage to get one for himself. Joystick playing that lone roamer to try and eliminate Vasily or Lion Karzeka. He will start these engagements. He sees the C4 going on. What a shot from Karzeka! Squares it off into a 1 versus 3 down to Vasily. Manages to find Joystick. 10 seconds to go. Plant will try and be established, but Cypher finish it, and that is all. Game, set, and match for Team Empire. They are your European champions, and they take the win, get the revenge against Vodafone Giants. Another day in the office for Team Empire.
The Russian redemption story for the ages as they lose their second game of the tournament and run it right back to the losers bracket all the way to the end undefeated. A wonderful comeback story for the Russian powerhouse in Challenger League, and like we've said throughout this entire tournament, they do look poised to be that #1 seed being promoted into EU Pro League at the end of this Challenger League season.
Empire, they started off strong. Midway through, hit that bump in the road. We still think it's because of the map. We will say it until we die. It's because of Consulate. They worked their way through the losers bracket, took out Pentasports, the Pro League team, and finally win this series in a 2-0 fashion. Wasn't even a big cause for caution for them, really leading into bank. We know they have experience. Vodafone just lacking that final bit of charisma, and Team Empire, excellent from them.
Spanish team of Vodafone Giants made that much more of a second map, made it a game compared to Oregon. Oregon was a gong show, and as you see Team Empire lift the Euro Cup in 2018 here in Milan, Italy, they are your ESL Euro Cup 2018 champions. When it looked like maybe they came in with the wrong mindset, the wrong mentality, the wrong momentum, they pull it all back and they make us all look like fools, and they bring it right back undefeated through the losers bracket to the very end.
Just passing around the trophy. They earned it. First slam for Karzeka, and that's going to be his first trophy as well. Him and Joystick, immense. I have to say, MVP of the tournament. I think you can already guess who I'm going to say.
For me, it's got to be Joystick.
Has to be Joystick. I'm pretty sure everybody is in complete agreement with that.